Want to boost your confidence in front of the camera so you can live stream more effectively and communicate with your audience? Get ready for the Go Live with Confidence show. Increase your confidence, improve your communication, and optimize your mindset so you can go live with confidence. This show is powered by Restream. And here's your host, Ian Anderson Gray.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Go Live with Confidence show. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. It's awesome to be here. It's awesome to be here. I'm so excited. This is a new show powered by Restream. And I'm just going to try something new. So let me know if you can hear this. I've got some music in the background. I've been playing around with some audio ducking. So hopefully this works okay. So yes, this is a brand new show that helps you increase your confidence, improve your communication, and optimize your mindset so that you can go live with confidence. That's what this show is all about. I can see some amazing people watching live. So if you just joined us, just put in the comments where in the world you are watching from, and also whether you have a live show. How much have you gone live? Is there anything that is stopping you? In this show, I'm going to be talking about mindset, about confidence, but also we can talk about tech as well, because quite often it's the tech that can give us that lack of confidence as well. So we're going to talk about that. Cool. Okay, so I can see some amazing people watching here. I can see, we've got the Arab immigrants is saying, oh no, so that's, yes, that is something what I need, a countdown. Got Carl is asking a question here. USA, but I want to know how you made this intro. So that intro, I created that myself using a number of different tools. The great thing is in Restream Studio, which is what I'm using today, you can actually has inbuilt countdown timers and videos as well. So that is something that you can definitely do. I think I'm fed up with this music, so I'm going to switch that off. Right, that's enough of that. Yeah, so I used ScreenFlow. I used Headliner as well, just to get that kind of little wave animation, and also another countdown video that I got from the interwebs, from one of these. It was basically an After Effects template that I used for that. So yeah, you did ask the question. Scott is saying, "Oh, great to see you, Scott. This audio makes me so anxious. Get ready for something epic." Well, that's the idea. That's the great thing about the countdowns. It just creates that excitement, I think. Not sure I wanted anxiety, but there we go. And Keel's here saying, very crisp presentation. Thank you so much. That's what we try and do here. We try and get things nice and professional. Hope you're doing really well. Let me know what you're thinking of doing. We've got, who have we got? Victor is watching from Atlanta. We've got Roy watching from London. I do a show weekly. Awesome. Let me know a bit more about what you're doing there. I'd love to know. And Scott's saying, I've gone live weekly for over 2 years now. Yeah, and I'm so impressed. It's interesting, Scott. If you went back 3 years to the Scott 3 years ago, and you told yourself that you were going to be going live every single week for 2 years, would the old Scott believe you there? Yeah, and the Arab immigrant says, I go live weekly. Rob is from Winnipeg, Canada. How can we use animated overlays? So yes, this will come, hopefully will come to Restream in the future. But I mean, yeah, you can mess around with lots of different videos and put them on your screen. And that's a great thing with Restream. It allows you to add loads of different videos onto your screen, which is awesome. So in the graphics part of Restream Studio, you can add videos, you can add backgrounds and overlays as well. So these at the moment, let's have a quick look. Yeah, so you can add images. I don't think it supports GIFs quite yet, but they're working on loads of really cool things for the future. So let's see what we're going to talk about today. I can see, Martin Buckland is here. Big shout out to Martin, who does an awesome job. Toronto, that's where you are. Beautiful part of the world. Weekly Tuesdays at 2 live shows. And I believe you're going live to LinkedIn Live. So this is the great thing with Restream. You can broadcast to LinkedIn Live. Martin is awesome. In fact, we need to chat, Martin. Let's get in chat soon, because I do want you on my show. It'd be great to get you on this show, because Martin's got an amazing story of confidence, which we'll talk about in the future. Because yeah, Martin speaks all over the world, or he did do maybe before the lockdown. A very confident guy, but when it came to live videos, there was a few things blocking him. And so I'd like to know from you watching, what are your confidence blips? And in particular, my question to you today is, do you compare yourself with others, other live streams out there, and does that stop you from doing your best work? We're going to be talking about comparing yourself with others today. So let's be honest. Let's be honest. We're all friends here. I'd love to know from you, do you compare yourself with others out there, and does that stop you? I'd love to know that. All right. So Kirill says, all right, enough technical stuff. I feel bad. We supposed to be talking about our mindsets. Let's get to the topic. Yeah, well, tech can actually get in the way, interestingly. So yeah, let's get on with the topic. I can see quite a few people commenting here, which is awesome, and I will get back to you. But let's talk about mindset, because I didn't go live for a whole month once. This was a few years ago, because I was worried about my background. I was worried about my video. I was worried about looking like an idiot. I was comparing myself to others, and I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that the mindset was the issue. I thought the tech was the issue. So I stopped going live for a whole month while I worked out how to improve my background, how to improve my camera. And then when I went live, I realized after that break, I realized that wasn't the issue. The issue was not the tech. The issue is rarely the tech, actually. The issue is you. You are the issue. And we're going to talk about that today. So I'd love to have a bit of, if you could be honest with me today, that would be awesome. So let's talk about that. And this show is all about going live with confidence. But let's talk about my story first of all. And also, I want you to stick with me, because I've got an amazing giveaway I want to tell you about today. This is not relating to confidence, but it's to do with tech and gear, and I'm giving away lots of really cool stuff. So let's talk about my story. So I trained as a professional singer back in the day, like 20 years ago. And I went on stage around the UK. I performed on stage. I was pretty confident until one time I went in front of a big audience, and I was so scared about it. But I was able to channel that nervous energy into my performance in front of the audience. Now, fast forward back into 2016, and I was going live for the first time. I'd written an article on how to broadcast to Facebook Live, and it went really viral. I knew that I needed to get over my fear. I was really afraid of getting in front of the camera because I couldn't see my audience, and I didn't have the energy of the room to bounce off of. And so I needed to find a new way of getting in front of the camera and to channel that nervous energy in front of my audience, the people that I couldn't see. It took a while to get over that. And the other issue was that I was looking at other people out there going live, and I was thinking, well, I could never be as confident as them. And I was comparing myself to those other people. These days, that's not so much of a problem. But even today, it's interesting. I haven't really struggled with comparison syndrome for about 6 months, but just the other week, 2 weeks ago, it just slapped me in the face. And so I wonder whether this is your issue. You know, you don't really you don't find yourself comparing yourself with others that often, but sometimes it just comes up from nowhere and it can really pull you down. So we're going to be talking about what you can do about it. What are the steps that you can eradicate those things from you, from your live streams? So we'll talk about that. I just want to have a look at the comments. So this is cool from Scott Ayres. He says, old Scott, he was scared at first, but I've always been able to talk to people and been easy on my feet. Learning the tech was scary at first. Restream makes it so easy. You're so right. Restream is awesome. The way you can bring in guests really easily onto the show, which I will be doing. You can bring up to 9 guests onto your show. You can go live to all these different platforms so easily. It's awesome. And so I want to let you know that if you want to find out more about Restream that powers the show, you can go to iag.me/Restream. It's awesome. You can go live with another tool like OBS or Ecamm if you're feeling a bit geeky. But if you want to keep things simple, you can use Restream Studio, which is what I'm using today. This allows you to go live with ease, with confidence, not worry about the tech. And you can even put things like comments on the screen and text like I'm doing at the moment. So that is Restream. I can see Rob is saying, I've got a weekly live movie review and analysis channel. I bring in my co-host as a remote guest in live studio. Awesome. It's just so easy to do that. And that's one thing I think that I talked about last week, which is how to boost your confidence. Going live just on your own is actually quite scary. What I'm doing today is not what I'd recommend that you do to begin with, because you have to be prepared. You have to prepare everything up in advance. It's a lot easier just to talk with somebody else, to ask a question to some guests. So there we go. Great. So we've got another point here from Roy. Do the show on LinkedIn Live, and it's focused on the plumbing behind financial markets. Awesome. Live engagement has made a huge difference, and you use Restream. And oh yeah, and I think that Scott has replied to Bob about blocking people. You can block people if so. Yeah, if you do get some spammers or some some nasty people, you can block them in Restream, which is great. You've got that ability to do that, which is awesome. Let's just okay. So yeah, Splashpoint Music says, sorry, I forgot my name's Neil. And yes, it's difficult not to compare. Yeah, it's a big issue. It really is. Bob says that preparation is everything, and it totally is. Just a couple of technical questions before I get on with the main content today. So Kale's asking, can you bring in co-hosts in OBS in a similar way while using Restream RTMP? So bringing in guests in OBS Studio is not that simple. And this is why I actually prefer to use a solution like Restream Studio, because from an onboarding point of view, you can give your guest a simple web link with Restream Studio. They just click on that. They will come into the green room and they will pop up on your web browser, and then you can bring them in onto the screen. It's so simple. OBS doesn't have any of that. It doesn't have a guest feature. So the only way to do that is to bring them in on Zoom or Skype or something similar. Share your screen. If you're using a Mac, you have to use some complicated routing software or routing software, depending on how you pronounce it. So it's kind of technically possible, but it's not for the faint-hearted. I wouldn't recommend it. Other solutions like Ecamm, Ycast, they do it. But yeah, I would personally use Restream Studio for that. And you can as well as streaming to other platforms, you can also set up an RTMP as well if you're wanting to do that. Now, this is a good question from Reef. Where did you get your custom and personalized box with your photo on it connected to your microphone? A lot of people ask me about this. So this is what's called a mic flag. And if you go to my gear guide, so we're not really supposed to be talking about tech today, but let's get the tech over with. If you go to iag.me/gear guide, you can find out all the tech that I use, my microphone. You can also find out where I got this microphone flag from. They're a company based in the US. They're awesome. I can't exactly remember. Is it PBS Impact PBS? I think they're called. But anyway, if you go to iag.me/gear guide, that's where you find it. So awesome. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about comparison syndrome and how you can get over it. And then I'm going to tell you about my giveaway, which is amazing stuff. So the first thing to talk about, and I mentioned this last week, is that the most important person on your live streams, whether you have a guest on or not, whether it's a solo show, the most important person is your audience, are your people watching. You watching now are my most important people. It's not me. I'm going live. Obviously, I have reasons why I'm going live, but I am here to serve you. And as soon as we start to compare ourselves with others, we start to forget the most important people on our live streams, which is you. Now, if you have a guest on, they are the second most important person. You are the last, I'm afraid to say. So as soon as you start to mess around, to have mindset issues, whether that's imposter syndrome or whether that is comparing yourself with others, you're actually doing a disservice to your audience. Your audience have come to see you, to hear about the topic. They've not come to watch somebody else. And so that's really important. You need to think about putting your audience first and delivering your best to them. That's really important. The second thing is to keep it really simple. You don't need really amazing tech. Now, I've been doing this for years and years and years. So some of the tech that I've got over the years, I've got a nice microphone. I've got loads of cool things going on. You don't need any of that stuff. So keep it simple. Don't compare yourself with somebody else's stuff. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a bit. So I think that's really, really important. Keep it simple. Keep it simple, because otherwise that's going to mean that you're going to compare yourself with other people's complicated stuff. So Anya's here. Anya from Restream is here. Awesome to see you, Anya, saying looking good. Thank you so much, Anya. Anya's been such a support in helping me launch this new show on Restream. This is last year I was doing a show called Go Live with Restream. This show is focused on mindset and confidence. Roy is getting involved and leaving us some great comments here. My first live stream was solo, not recommended. And I totally agree. It's scary, isn't it? It's scary. I didn't have the microphone on for the first 10 minutes and no one told me. Well, I'm glad for you watching today, because I know that if something goes wrong, you're going to tell me. And I think that's important. But the first time you go live, things are going to go wrong. Okay. But I bet, Roy, the next time you went live, you checked your microphone, didn't you? So the first time you go live, it's a good idea to set aside the first 5 to 10 episodes that you do. Things are going to go wrong quite frequently. And that's the case for everyone who goes live. If you watch the first 10 videos, the first 20, the first 30 live videos that I did, I made some serious mistakes. I forgot to put the microphone on. I didn't check my internet. There were loads of things like that. So, don't do that. So, so Anya's saying, Studio's a lot better for guests. So, yes, you can do it in other tools, but Restream Studio just makes it so simple to bring in guests. So I definitely recommend that. And Anya says, how to not compare yourself to a photo on your microphone flag. Yeah, I need to move that slightly. Let's just move it. Anyway, there we go. I need a Restream flag, Anya, don't I? I need a Restream one. We need to get that sorted. Anya's also saying, before I get on to the next bit, audience is so crucial. I have a toy chair on my desk when I go live. I imagine my viewers that he helps me keep focused on bringing value to them. That's awesome, Anya. And another thing that you can think about doing is just print out a picture of like your best friend, or if you have a client that you work with, and just put it just behind your camera. Focus on them. That's the most important person. That's going to really, really help. Awesome. Well, I'd love to know your stories. What's stopping you from going live with confidence? Do you compare yourself with others? Do you compare yourself with others? I would love to know, because I know I'm not the only one. So yeah, when I was struggling with going live with my confidence, the whole comparing myself thing was a huge problem. And I've spoken to a lot of people in my industry, other live streamers. You may know some of those live streamers out there who struggle with comparison syndrome as well. So yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the differences, because there is comparison syndrome, but there is also imposter syndrome. And I think that the two are linked. There's quite a few different things that go on. There's comparison syndrome, comparing yourself to others. There's maybe you're a bit of a perfectionist. You're trying to get everything perfect before you go live. And there's also imposter syndrome, which is this kind of feeling that you're a fraud, that you kind of don't really know as much as you say you do. And you're worried about kind of like being seen as a fraud. And I think all of those are linked, because so many of us are creative people. We've come into the industry that we're in through maybe trial and error. We've worked hard at it, but imposter syndrome can be a big issue here. So a lot of people struggle with comparing ourselves. But the thing about comparing ourselves is that it's never a fair comparison. You know, a lot of people will compare their 5th live video with somebody else's 500th. As I said, I've been going live for years and years and years. I may have done over 500 episodes now, live streams. I haven't been counting. But, you know, if you have only done 5 live videos, don't compare yourself with me. In the same way as I will not compare myself with some professional live streamers who've been doing it for thousands of times, who you know, have been doing this for far more than me. So it's not a fair comparison to do that. You shouldn't be comparing yourself at all. What I would say to you is to be inspired. Don't get jealous. Get inspired from other people. Now, this is a mindset shift that you need to do. So look at other people out there who are going live on a regular basis and learn from them. Be inspired. We've got some amazing shows on the Restream channel, some amazing friends of mine who are professional live streamers. And my goodness, if I compared myself with some of these guys, I would have given up ages ago. So, but what I try and do is I watch these people and I get inspired. You know, watch Scott's show. Scott Ayres is a good friend of mine. He does amazing stuff. Watch his show, get inspired, but don't compare. If you're just starting off with your live streams, don't compare where you are, where he is now. As Scott was saying, he's been live streaming for years, at least a couple of years, and he's been doing that every single week. He's been doing that. So really important, be inspired, get inspired. Don't be jealous. Jealousy can kind of like pop up at any moment. Scott, if you're still here, says, I need a new mic flag. I hope you're not comparing your mic flag with my mic flag, Scott, but yeah, it's cool, but you don't need these things. Roy was saying also before, I have a checklist now that I go through for tech, really important. So yes, once you've made a mistake, make sure you have a checklist and you go through all of that. Really, really important. Now, the other thing with comparing is comparing your statistics with other people's. And I'm talking here about the vanity statistics of the number of views and things like that. Now, this is a great thing, but it's also a really bad thing. Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, they all give you the number of concurrent views on the top left-hand side of the screen. And Restream gives you that information too. That's really important. You want to know that people are watching. But that number can do weird things with your head. And you can compare yourself with other people's live streams, particularly people who've been live streaming for years and years. You know, your number of concurrent live viewers might be quite low. That might get you down. You might be thinking, well, nobody likes me. And so you need to stop doing that. You need to build over time your show, because it takes time to grow your audience. This is a new live show, so it's going to take some time for this show to grow. And I don't want to go in and compare myself with others out there for that point of view. Unless I'm doing it for strategic reasons. I want to see what else is out there and see, well, what can I achieve to do it in that kind of way. Scott says, thank you, Scott. No, because my mic flag is better, but I need a new one. Thank you for that, Scott. I'm not going to look at any of your live streams from now on. So there we go. So that is, so we talked about not comparing your 5th video with somebody else's 500th episode, and also not to get inspired. So to get inspired, but not to be jealous. Okay, now, do you want to win amazing live video gear? Well, I've got an amazing giveaway, which I'm going to share with you now. There's over 15,000 worth of gear, live streaming gear that is up for grabs, including a Stream Deck, some tools like Restream Studio, and all that kind of stuff. It is amazing. So all you need to do is go to confident.live/giveaway, and you can find out all about that. But I'm just going to play this video for you, and this will show you a little bit more about the prizes.
And now on IAG TV,
it's the Confident Live Marketing Podcast giveaway! Launch your live show in just 10 days with the Launch Your Live course. Get the special Black Edition Heil PR40 microphone worth $329. Or the Elgato Stream Deck worth $189. Get Restream Pro 12-month subscription worth $490. Agorapulse Social Media Management, the large plan worth $1,908. Ecamm Live Pro 12 months worth $349. 12-month subscription to the membership of the Podcast Host Academy. Amy Wood's Content and X book. 12-month subscription to Captivate FM. TubeBuddy subscription to the Legend plan worth $300. 12-month subscription to Wave Video Creator plan. Alitu 6-month subscription worth $200. Free podcast show intro and outro from Music Radio Creative. Free Jeff C's pop-out video course. Get 12-month subscription to the Easel Plus plan. And a free book, Podcast Growth by Colin Gray. Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. All you need to do is go to confident.live/giveaway. There's some amazing things there. So I hope you enjoy that. If you have just joined the show, just watching now, this is the Go Live with Confidence show. It's all about optimizing your mindset, getting you to go live with confidence. This is a weekly show. We do it every week at this time, which is 5 p.m. in the UK. That's 12 noon Eastern time. And I believe it's 9 a.m. Pacific if my brain is working today. So there we go. So I'd love to know, if you just joined, what is stopping you from going live or going live regularly? And do you find yourself comparing yourself with others, or imposter syndrome, or anything like that? I'd love to know what is going on in your head. Now, be honest, be kind. You know, I've been really quite allowed myself to be quite vulnerable and shared some of my stories. But I've lived to tell the tale. Despite really struggling with some of these things, I'm still live streaming today. I love doing what I do. I help entrepreneurs all around the world with their confidence and and boosting their communication in front of the camera. So yeah, Scott says for the prizes, yeah, that is a big prize pack, over $15,000 there. And yes, I can put a link in the comments. That's a very good idea. And this is something that you can do in Restream Studio, is you can actually type away. You can type in the comments and it goes across all the different channels. So let's do that now. Amazing giveaway. So let me see if you can see this. And I'm going to do this. Now, if I was organized, what you can do in Restream. There we go. I can't multitask. What you can do in Restream, you can set up a lot of the chat comments in advance. So if you've got any links you want to give away, you can set up some short codes using exclamation points, and you can just type them all in there and just very, very simply and easily. So I love that bit about Restream. It's a really cool hack. If you go into the chat app in Restream, it's all there and you can set all of that up. Awesome. So let's see what's next. So next thing is something that my friend Luria Petrucci talks about from Live Streaming Pros. And she talks about leaning into your flaws, being you. You know, what is it about you that you don't like or that makes you unique? And a lot of the time we tend to kind of move away from those things. So it could be you've got an accent. I think we all have accents, but there's something about your accent that you don't like, or you don't like the way you look. There might be something about it that you struggle with. And I don't think many of us like the sound of their own voice. I'd love to know in the comments, do you or do you not like listening to your own voice? Now, I wouldn't say I particularly like listening to my own voice now, today, but I've got used to it. I've gotten used to it. So now I do listen back and I try and learn from those things. But yeah, you need to learn to love the bits about you that you don't like over time, but also to know that those bits about you that you don't like can actually be what attracts other people to you. So I can't do much about my accent. This is the way I speak. I have a British or an English accent. It's slightly northern in the UK. This is just the way I speak. I could try and put a different accent on for the risk of not wanting to. I don't want to offend anyone, so I'm not going to put any accents on. Although I do enjoy doing accents. But you know, if you don't like my accent, then you're going to leave. I'm not the right person for you. But if you stuck with me so far, you don't mind my accent. You might even love my accent. Now, I didn't particularly like my voice, but I've got used to it. I've gotten used to it. So that's one thing to think about: the way you sound, the way you look. You may have certain mannerisms, the way you laugh, certain things that you say about yourself. So don't shy away from those things. Those are the things that make you you. So lean into those bits. And that brings me on to, let's really call comparison syndrome what it is, or comparing yourselves to others. It is a total lie. It is not the truth. Because the thing is, when we look at other people on live streams or how they interact on social, we're not seeing the full story. We're only seeing what they want to see. And so when you compare yourself, which aspects of yourself are you comparing yourself with to them? Often it's not a fair, in fact, 99.99% of the time, it's not a fair comparison. Even if it was okay to compare yourself with others, it's just not a fair comparison. It's a lie. And if you look at that other person, you think you want what they've got, you want to be more confident, you want to have a different accent, you want to look like them, you're forgetting a really important thing, that, first of all, your audience want you. They want the real you. They don't want you to be a fake copy of somebody else. That's so important. But you know, it's also about just being you, being confident in who you are, and not comparing yourself with others. So really important. And I'd love to know what you think about that. Is this something that you struggle with? Right, so we've got some comments here. So from Louis, who says, when I started live streaming, I didn't like my own voice. It sounds weird hearing my own voice. Do you know what? You're not alone. As I said earlier, I trained as a professional classical singer. I had to listen to myself. It was the only way I was going to improve. I used to hate listening to myself. And the reason we do not like listening to ourselves is that when we hear ourselves speak, we're hearing it through our heads, through our brains, or bouncing off the walls slightly. We're not hearing our voice the way other people hear our voices. And so that's an important thing to think about. When you hear your voice, it is a bit of a shock to the system because we're not hearing our voice the way we normally hear our voices. So that's the first thing to think about. The second thing to think about is that it just takes time to get used to our own voice. Most of us hate the sound of our own voice. My daughter hates hearing her own voice. I'm trying to work on her to learn to listen and to improve. And she's getting there with it. So try and listen to your own voice back. A tip here is to listen with somebody else, because that other person is not going to be as critical as you, and they're going to allow you to get through that journey really of you enjoying or being okay with your own voice. So I like that, Louis. That's definitely something I would agree with. Awesome. We can see that Dave Brown is here from California. Great subject. Have confidence. Absolutely. The thing is, it's really important to be okay with who you are, because, there are people out there who have loads more, excitement in front of the camera that I do, but I just want to be me. I don't want to be them. I also want to put a bit more energy than some other people do. So comparing yourself with others is not going to help there. So just have confidence in who you are. Martin, great point here from Martin. Nothing like an English accent. Great selling point. My accent makes me a lot of money and seduces the audience. So there you go. But you don't have to have an English accent. I mean, of course, I agree with you, Martin. But you might have a New York accent, a Boston accent, an Australian accent, a French accent, German accent. I don't know what it is. But that accent makes you you. So don't try and be anything different. Roy says that he hates, or I hate my voice, but I've got used to it doing podcasts and forcing myself to listen to myself. Ugh, but I accept it now. Helps with confidence. I'm totally with you there. I'm okay with it now. Yeah, it's taken a long time. That's probably taken me 2 or 3 years to get into being okay with my own voice. Cool. Right. So let's go on to the next thing. So the next thing I want to share with you is keeping a video diary. Now, this video diary is going to track your progress, not just with the tech. Yes, you're going to do things like, I can't remember who said it before, about forgetting to switch the microphone off at the beginning and having a checklist. Next, if that happened to you, then you can write that in your video diary and remind yourself the next time not to do that. So keeping a video diary is great for tech, but it's also great for confidence, because what you're going to do is you're going to watch yourself back and then you're going to write things down about how you did. Ideally, you do it with somebody else. You have somebody else there with you. But the first 3 things that you need to do are positive things. You need to talk about positive things. What did you do? What were the 3 things that you did really well in that show? Positive things first. Because if you're like me, if you're like a lot of people, the first things that you will write down are negative. So make sure that you put positive things down first. The second thing that you do is you write down constructive things. What did you do? What could you have done better for next time? So that's important, but don't be too harsh on yourself. You know, treat yourself like you were treating a client. Be really constructive in your criticism, and keep that video diary. Over time, you will get better and better and better. And that brings me on to the next thing, which is know why you're going live. So, you know, for example, before, we've got this comment from, where is it now? From Martin. You know, he knows why he goes live. You know, his accent makes him a lot of money. You know, he goes live for business reasons. You might go live because you are, you know, you enjoy what you do. That is cool. But you need to know why you're going live. So when you have those that nervous energy, or you're comparing yourself to other people, that doesn't affect you. Your mindset is really focused on what you're doing. So the part of your brain out that's saying you're no good, Ian, and you're not as good as that other person over there who does amazing lives, then I can just say to that, calmly say to that other voice, well, actually, do you know what? The people that my perfect audience are turning up to watch this live broadcast, and I'm going live because of this reason, this reason, and this reason. And you're basically telling that part of your brain to shut up because it's completely unfounded. So really, really important there to talk about that. So I would love to know more about what is stopping you from going live. Is it the mindset? Is it the tech? Or is it knowing what to say? We're going to be talking mainly about confidence and mindset and communication in the show. I'm going to be bringing in some special guests over the next few weeks. And I'd love to know from you if you have any ideas for guests or any topics of what you think we should be talking about. We're going to be talking on future shows. We're going to be talking about imposter syndrome, talking about ways to improve your communication in front of the camera, talking about how you can set up your shows in a way that's going to be make it easier for you, but also a better way for you to communicate to your audience as well. So I'd love to know what you think. This show is all about you. It's about me helping you with your whether it's perfectionism, imposter syndrome, comparison syndrome, or maybe it's some other kind of mindset issue, or maybe it's that you just want to get better at communicating to your audience in front of the camera. So I'd love to know more about that. If you've just joined, this is the Go Live with Confidence show. It is all about helping you communicate with your audience with confidence and just to optimize your mindset. Go live every week at on Tuesdays, I should say. It is a Tuesday at 5 p.m. in the UK. That's 6 p.m. European time, 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. I hope you're impressed with that. I did it all in my head because I'm just sad when it comes to time zones. And this show goes live to YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Periscope, at least for now, Twitch, and so many other platforms using the power of Restream. Restream is what powers the show. I'm using Restream Studio. And so just a big shout out to Restream. If you just joined, go to iag.me/Restream. It allows you to bring in up to 9 guests onto your show. You can multi-stream to all these different destinations. In fact, over 30 different destinations. You can add comments on the screen and titles, and you can also use other tools as well with Restream if you want to be a bit more geeky. So it is awesome. Also, check out my gear guide at iag.me/gear guide. This gives all the gear that I use, including Restream, this microphone, the mic, my mic stand, and all this other stuff like Stream Decks and all this cool stuff. It's really cool. And of course, just to also let you know about the giveaway I'm doing. It's $15,000 worth of live streaming gear and tools and all that kind of stuff. All you need to do is go to confident.live/giveaway and just comment on that video, and my handy Facebook Messenger bot will kick into action and you can enter that way. It's really cool. Awesome. So Swammel's here saying, nice, great to see you here. Swami, sorry. Hope you're doing really well. I'd love to know from you. Are you going live regularly? Put in the comments if you are going live regularly, or if you're not going live, what is stopping you? So I think we're almost at an end, but I'm just going to go through again the points for today, and I will be back next week, of course. And do check out the other Restream videos, shows that we do every single day on this channel on Restream. You definitely need to check that out. So we talked about in today's show what you can do about it, and the first thing was really about thinking about who your audience, who the most important person is in your live stream, and that is your audience. Put them first. Keep it simple. Keep the tech simple to begin with, particularly. Don't compare yourself with others. Particularly don't compare your 5th live stream with somebody else's 500th. It takes time to improve. And of course, another thing to say is, with perfectionism, it's important, I think, to get your message out there, even if it is 20% perfect, 10%, maybe things are going wrong, but you are sharing that with your audience. That is much better than 100% perfect, but stuck in your head because you've never actually gone live. So we don't want that. When you're looking at other people out there, don't, get inspired by it, get inspiration, get tips. I hope that's what you're doing in this show and all the other shows that we do at Restream. Get inspired. Don't let jealousy rear its ugly head. That's so, so important. Get inspired, learn from others, and be yourself. Lean into your flaws. What is it about you that makes you unique, makes you different? It could be the way you look, the way you sound, lots of things. And you might not like the way you sound. You might not like the way your voice speaks, but other people are going to love that. So that's really, really important. Also, see comparison syndrome as what it is. It is a total lie. It's not a fair comparison if you're comparing yourself with others. Total lie. And then that brings me on to the next thing, which is keeping a video diary. So watch back your live streams, preferably with somebody else. Keep a video diary. Put down 3 things that you did really well, and followed by 3 things that you can improve as well. And then that brings me on to why you're going live. Knowing why you're going to go live, that's going to make it so much easier for you when you are having these doubts to not give into them, not to give into that side of your brain. So know why you're going to go live. And I would definitely recommend creating a document that notes all the reasons of why you're going live and who your audience is. That is so, so important. Awesome. Well, I think that is it for today. We're going to, I'll be back next week at the usual time with the Go Live with Confidence show. And I'd love to hear from you what you think we should be talking about on the show. And if you've got any ideas for guests, I've got some amazing guests coming up in the future. So definitely check that out. So that is it for today. So I encourage you to go live with confidence, to optimize your mindset. And I will see you next week. Toodaloo.
Thanks for watching the Go Live with Confidence show with Ian Anderson Gray, helping you get over the fear, improve your communication, and optimize your mindset so that you can go live with confidence. Check out Restream and take it for a test drive at iag.me/Restream. And until next time, toodaloo.